Today I'm going to be doing a comparison of the Velotric Nomad 1 to the Aventon Aventure 2. And I know this isn't a fair comparison because the Nomad 1 comes in at around $1,500, whereas the Aventure 2 comes in at $1,900. So there's a $400 difference between these e-bikes, and it definitely shows in some of the features that this Aventon bike has, but I still wanted to compare them. I think a more fair or reasonable comparison would have been the Nomad compared to the Aventure 1, but I don't have the Aventure 1, so we're just making work with what I have, and it's these two e-bikes, and I'm still going to compare them for you and share the pros, cons, what I think about them. And if you want to see a full review of either of these two e-bikes, I have it on my channel. I'll put a link in the description below for you to check out, but other than that, let's dive into the video. So they're both fat tires. They're both nice, large 4.5 inch or 4 inch fat tires, same exact size, but the one difference between them is the tread on the Aventure 2 is a lot thicker than the Nomad 1. The Nomad 1 doesn't have that thick of tread on it. Also, when we're looking at the front tire, the fender on the Aventure 2 is metal, where on the Velotric Nomad 1 it's plastic. Both of these e-bikes has front suspension, so that's really nice. I really don't have a problem with either of these going over top of bumps and driving on gravel roads like I typically do. They're both a really comfortable ride. The seat is very comparable to both of them. I've taken them on long trips and I felt very comfortable riding either bike. Now, when we're taking a look at the handlebars here, this is where another difference comes in. On the Aventon Aventure 2, the handlebars are more straight and they're more forward. It puts you in more athletic position versus the Nomad. They're going to be curved towards you, more of a cafe handlebar style. And also the grip pads on these has more surface area for your palms. So to me, this just feels like a more upright, comfortable ride that you're going to want to take this for a nice cruise on. They both come with an 8-speed trigger shifter, which works great on both of these e-bikes, and they also both have hydraulic brakes. And when I tested them out, it seemed like they stopped really quickly and relatively comparable. I didn't notice a big difference when it comes to braking. Both of these e-bikes have left-handed thumb throttles, but they actually operate a little bit differently. The Velotric thumb throttle only goes up to the level of speed whichever pedal assist level you're in. So if you're in pedal assist level 1, your thumb throttle is only going to get you up to around 7 miles an hour. If you're in pedal assist level 2, it'll get you up to maybe 10 or 12 miles an hour, and so on and so forth. But the Aventon Aventure 2, the thumb throttle works all the way up to 20 miles an hour, no matter what pedal assist level you're in, starting from 1 all the way up to 5. If you're in pedal assist level 0, it's not going to do anything, but if you're in pedal assist level 1, the thumb throttle will get you all the way up to 20 miles an hour. And I actually prefer that because when I ride, a lot of times when I'm stopping, like for a stop sign or traffic or anything like that, and I just want to get going really quickly, a lot of times I like to just punch the thumb throttle and know that it's going to get me up to 20 miles an hour. So I actually enjoy when thumb throttles do that. But I do know that for some people that are a little bit like older or aren't as safe on an e-bike, or maybe you're just new to it, having the regulated thumb throttle for each pedal assist is a little bit more safer, and you're not going to like whiskey throttle out of there accidentally, even if you're on pedal assist level 1. So it is more suitable for like a beginner rider, but I personally prefer when thumb throttles max out to 20 miles an hour no matter what pedal assist level you're in. They both have nice display screens. I actually prefer on the Aventon screen, it actually shows what percentage battery life you have, versus on the Velotric, it just shows like 5 bars. And if you lose a bar, you know you're just losing some battery power. But I like the specifics of the Aventon battery gauge on here. I like that it shows you percentage-wise how much battery life you have left. The Aventon Aventure 2 e-bike also comes with an app that you can pair to it so that you can like toggle through your different settings and see your mileage, all this stuff. But most of the time, I don't use an app. That's just not the kind of rider I am. I like to just hop on my bike and go, and I like to see the display screen showing me my mileage and stuff, but I rarely pull out my phone, so I don't think that that's a big difference one way or another. They both come with front headlights. This one is actually up on your handlebars versus the Nomad is actually down by your tire. Either one works fine. I think they both work great, but the one difference with the Aventon Aventure 2 is it actually has rear taillights and also turn signals, which is really nice. You can control the turn signals right here on the control panel. So that's really nice, and that's what that $400 is going towards, is coming with those rear taillights and turn signals. Maybe if they put an extra $400 into this, they could have integrated it, but that's where you're gonna see the price difference come in right there. And also you're gonna see that price difference come in on the rear rack, where the Aventon Aventure 2 has a rear rack where the Nomad doesn't have one. You can always buy one separately and add it on. I think they're around like 60 bucks or something. So you can always like buy one, but this one just comes in all at that one package price. So that's where you're gonna see that price difference as well. Another huge feature that's different because of that price range is this bike has a torque sensor versus this one has a cadence sensor. And a torque sensor most people like better because it's a lot smoother of a ride. The more energy you put into the pedals, the faster the e-bike is going to go, versus a cadence sensor. You can be pedaling really slow, but the e-bike is gonna go at the automatic speed that it's set for, whether you're in pedal assist level 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So this one's just going to be a standard speed that it's going to go, and this one is going to operate based on how much energy and output you're putting into the pedals. So this one a lot of times feels like a smoother ride. The one difference though, like to me, I actually enjoy both of them. I don't really have a preference. To me, it's more like how I'm feeling that day, because when I feel like I want to ride at a more like cruise and just like enjoy myself and pedal and have the pedals like assist me, then I'll take this e-bike out. But if I want to go on a long trip and ride at faster speeds, but I don't want to put a lot of energy in, then I'll take this bike, because this one allows me to go at fast speeds, but I can just gently move my legs and not really have to exert myself. Versus this one, if you want to go at faster speeds, you also have to exert more power into the pedals, or else you're not going to get up to that top speed. So it really depends on how I'm feeling and what mood I'm in, because if I want to just enjoyable, easy ride, I'll take this bike. If I want to put a little more work in and just feel the natural control of my pedal, then I'll take this bike. The battery location on both these e-bikes are in different spots. On the Velotric Nomad 1, it's right up top, and on the Aventon, it's on the side, but they're really accessible to get to, and they're easy to grab and take in and out of the house, so the batteries aren't a problem. The one thing I don't like about the Aventon bike is the battery. To be able to turn the whole e-bike on, you have to tap the battery here, the button on it, and then you have to hold down the power button here, and then same thing to shut it off. You have to hold the power button here to shut off your screen, and then you have to hold the power button on your battery to shut it off. So it's like a two-step process, and I never know if this battery light is on or off. So I might be holding the power button, but my battery's off and nothing's happening. So it's like really dimly lit, and I just don't like that two-step process. Versus this one, all you have to do is hit the power button right up here on the control panel. It's going to turn it on. The frame and the color on both of these e-bikes looks amazing, and they come in multiple different colors. I got a yellow one for the Velotric and a blue one for the Aventon, but they have a different assortment, and you can also choose whether you want a step over frame, a step through frame, or one that you have to step over top of that come with that extra bar. I personally always prefer the step through. They're just easier to get on and off. The one reason you might want the one that's the step over frame is because they're a little more durable and they have a little more stability in the structure of their frame if you're gonna be like taking it through the woods and all these crazy things. But for my average daily drive, I don't do that. So it's just for functionality. I like having the step through frame. Another difference I noticed between these two e-bikes is when you throttle on these bikes, the Velotric takes off a lot faster and gives you immediate power, whereas the Aventon Aventure 2 is more of a gradual power. So when you hit the throttles on both of them at the same time, the Velotric will beat this one off the line every single time. Now they both have a 750 watt rear hub motor, so they have similar power, but just the way they operate is a little bit differently. And then also the battery life is very similar. We've taken these out for long trips on both of them, doing the same exact type of riding, and honestly they hold up very comparable and very similar when it comes to battery life. They last you a while, let's just say that. You can go on a long trips on these things and they're still gonna have juice in the batteries. Another difference between these two e-bikes is this Aventon e-bike can go up to 28 miles an hour, whereas the Velotric only goes to 20 miles an hour. So you'll get a lot more speed out of the Aventon Aventure 2 than you will with the Velotric, but there is a thing you can do with the Velotric to actually unlock faster speeds, I think up to like 25 miles an hour. So you can get a little more speed out of have this Velotric, so they are comparable in that sense. I actually haven't changed the speed setting on this because I like to conserve my battery life. If you're riding at those fast speeds for long durations, then it's going to kill your battery a lot faster on both of these e-bikes. So I usually tend to hover in the mid-range when I'm riding. I'll use the fast speeds when I'm trying to get somewhere quick or do something faster, but when I'm just looking for a nice cruise and a nice enjoyable ride, I'll usually ride at that mid speed level. Another subtle difference that I noticed between these two e-bikes is the clicking noise on the chain for the Aventon Aventure 2 seems to be a little bit louder than the Velotric. Anytime I'm riding a different bike other than the Aventon, I feel like I just hear it when I'm riding next to it. When I'm on it, I don't notice it that much, and honestly, it's not a huge deal, but I just feel like this has a slightly louder clicking noise. I just feel like this one is a little bit more obnoxious. Overall, I think both of these brands produce really quality products and e-bikes, so I think you'd be happy with either one you choose. And honestly, I swap back and forth which ones I decide to ride all the time. Like I said, if I want just a casual cruise, I'll oftentimes take my Velotric bike out. But if I want a more of athletic ride and I want the torque sensor to adjust with how much energy I'm putting in, then I'll take the Aventon Aventure 2 out for a ride. They're both very comparable. You're going to be happy with either one. I'm really pleased with them. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the description to either of these e-bikes. And that's it. That's my comparison of these two e-bikes. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you on another one.